Hey everyone, this is Astro Batboy. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be taking a look at an old sketch from the early 2000s and recreating it now in Procreate. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment down below. Now let's get started. So this was actually my first time using Procreate when doing this rendition. I didn't really take the time to look at any tutorials, so a lot of this was done through trial and error. I do have Photoshop experience, Illustrator, most of the Adobe packages, so I had an idea of how to work with this. But I kind of just wanted to really recreate it and go with the flow. This was originally a sketch that I didn't think much about, but later on, I went ahead and actually tried to make this as a 3D rendition. Probably around 2015, I was a 3D artist and it was just a side project I decided to work on. Never finished it, but it was something I really wanted to do. As you can see here, I have some rough drafts and ideas of what was going on. So as you can see, I have here a previs with a 3D renditioning, and I really wanted it to feel like a first person type of experience, going through the different worlds and getting hit by these vibrant day glow neon colors. Think of it almost like a roller coaster ride, and where you're just going through the different sceneries. And as far as the 3D previs, you can see here, it's gonna end at the top hat, but we'll continue on with the animatic, and you'll get a chance to see of things escalating as you're going through the garden with the cards, getting hit with the gavel, and ultimately going up top of the roller coaster ride and getting consumed by the queen as you fall down and land. A fun experience, but now back to the Procreate drawing. Now, why Wonderland? Looking back at this, I never realized how obsessed I was with this book. The story. I feel like most people grow up with a lot of ideas from Wizard of Oz. Unknowingly, I really connected to Alice in Wonderland. So for myself, I feel what connected me, what attracted me to the story was just so much of the unknown, so many riddles, so much to uncover and discover within this. Every time I look at the Disney film or read it, picture books of it, it always gave me insight to things about the world. It actually would be interesting to actually read the original now and see what I can get out of it. Now I know there's a lot of updates with Lewis Carroll's background, so I'm hesitant to go ahead and read and see what I'm going to be unlocking, learning about myself from the story. But it's just something I didn't realize, like I said, that I had a huge connection to. And it showed itself through so many ways, through various drawings that I've done and prior work. Alice in Wonderland, its main theme is something that I felt growing up, and that's why I think I connected to it. So now for this, you can see I went with the florals, very much similar to the Disney film. The talking flowers are really fun to do. And I just remembered how they were kind of bitches. They are the haters of the world. They're the ones that bring you down and size you up and try to figure out who you are. They weren't actually in the original sketch, but I decided to throw them on now as a nod to that. Now Alice, the young ingenue, lost and through all this chaos, someone I have a personal connection to and made different variations of her throughout my art life. And fun fact, I played her for a friend's video editing class as well. I wish I had a copy of that video to reflect back on it. The rabbit, the one who takes us down the rabbit hole and introduces us into this world. A practical and math-based character. The Cheshire Cat, one of my personal favorites and one of the most unapologetic about going mad in this world, which to me, I was interpreted being deep into like a dream, and it being a lucid dream where you're aware and you're in full control of it. Tweedledum and Tweedledee, who tell that story about the walrus and the carpenter. A late addition to this digital piece, but I'm happy I did because they've become my favorite two characters of this drawing. The Mad Hatter. Now I have to confess, he's heavily influenced from the Tim Burton version. Having done him in the past, I definitely give him that. You don't know if he's good or bad. Ultimately, he's not bad, but he always struck me as some type of villain that you love to hate, but ultimately end up loving him. Caterpillar. Some say that it's a representation of some type of phallic meaning in the story. I always saw it more as part of growing up and not quite reaching that state where you're a butterfly or a cocoon yet. I always did find it interesting though, the whole psychedelic aspect with him and smoking his hookah and being rude. So at this point, I'm reaching a good place within fleshing out the details with our characters, but also at the same time avoiding one of the bigger ones. She is the antagonist of her story, but also a reflection, I feel, of Alice's inner mind and heart. And of course, I'm talking about our Queen of Hearts. It's funny enough how I feel making her a shadow. Gave her very much a Pokemon Ghost type of vibe. I am pretty happy that I left her as a big shadowy figure silhouetted, and in my mind I see her as the end of our story, almost like being birthed and coming into reality out of this mad world. And just like that, true to life with art, I found it challenging to illustrate her because finding lighting and just the correct ambiance I wanted to go with was a lot of back and forth. In retrospective, I should have taken some type of reference to work off, but just like not really choosing to learn Procreate and go at it, I went for it, and it was a challenge, but I got to a point I was happy with it. The fact that she's so simple also just allows me to go ahead and show you some past versions of her, a little more fleshed out, and in her all full Queen of Hearts glory. She is a big reminder of the reality of things and how we have to face them eventually and grow up. Adding some details on the mushrooms and really finalizing her right here. And now, as you can see, I'm pretty much reached a point where I'm just doing final touches and just seeing if there's anything that I might have left out. But overall, as you're seeing, this is pretty much it. So I hope you had a fun time recapping and watching my behind the stories to this illustration and taking on Procreate for the first time. I don't think it was too bad. I can't wait to create other things with it. So thank you and stay tuned for the next one.